Coming up today on TechLink Daily, a woman freaks out inside of an Apple store, the Syrian Electronic Army has hacked yet another site, and parents are still blaming Apple for in-app purchases. All of those stories and more coming up right now. Hey everybody, welcome back to TechLink Daily. My name is Creighton Meller, and this is the #1 place to get your hottest tech news. Before we get started, let me tell you about our brand new gaming channel, Logic Lounge Gaming, all about bringing you Let's Plays, guides to get achievements, and all sorts of gaming type related videos, all gonna be over there. You can see right there, we have the web address right there, youtube.com/Logic Lounge Gaming. Once you're done with this video, go over there and check it out, and be sure to hit that subscribe button. So without further ado, let's get on to today's top tech stories. Our first story today is for all of you who use credit cards online and want to keep your information safe. From The Verge, Mask Me, an online disguise for your email and credit card. When you enter in your credit card number, or even your phone number, even your email address, you're trusting the person that you're giving that information to not to share it or even get it leaked out of their system. And that's always very hard to do. So what do you do to combat that? Well, you use this Google Chrome and Firefox extension called Mask Me. It creates fake credit card numbers, fake telephone numbers, and even fake email addresses that point to the real thing, so you can generate them per the site that you go to. So you know if your information is leaked, you know where it's coming from, and you can stop it just by, blocking the content coming to you via that email address. It's a pretty unique thing available right now for Chrome and Firefox. Go click that article down below to find out where you can download the extension. Intel is furthering innovation yet again with this article from The Verge. Intel teases a new Haswell processor for thin, potentially fanless tablets. Intel's Haswell processors have been on the top of innovation lately. This latest one shows off just how thin we could possibly make our tablets in the future. Because as you know, some very powerful Intel and even AMD powered tablets need a fan inside to keep it cool. Well, Haswell has shown off this new technology that produces just 4.5 watts of heat. And that's not a lot, considering a small enclosed space plus cooling capabilities of tablets. So that means that, your devices could run faster on Intel and be cool and very, very thin. So check that out in the future from Intel's Haswell line. Now here's an interesting study that I found on The Telegraph. iPad generation will have smaller vocabulary, study claims. This story isn't taking a hit to the iPad directly, but talking about how mobile is changing the way that we type, using shortened words and weird vocabulary that we don't use every day. I myself still like to use full-length words when typing via text messages. I don't really like using that short speak because it's sometimes not, you can't really read it that well. I don't like to use it, but I do agree that some people of, I guess I would say my generation do that, and I'm kind of against that. I do like using big words, and I do like, expanding my vocabulary, but most of the people from my generation and from the generations behind me too will probably not know as many words as people from the generations before me. It's just the thing that is going to happen because we have technology, and it's kind of forced us to learn this really weird language to try to fit it into 140 characters, not only for Twitter, but for text messaging too. So it's quite interesting to see why they're complaining about this. And in some ways, I do agree that our vocabulary probably isn't going to be the best compared to people maybe 20, 30 years older than me. When you think of TVs and monitors, you usually think of them as nice and flat screens, not really having a curved or weird surface. It's just a square, basically. Well, as these screens get bigger and bigger, we notice that you're having to stretch your head to view every corner. And that's why you see behind me, my two 30-inch monitors aren't side by side. No, one is curved in a little bit so that I can see it. Now, two companies, LG and Samsung, have done something kind of like that via this article from Mashable.com. LG and Samsung bring curved OLED TVs to the US. Now, these televisions aren't cheap at all, being about $15,000 a piece from these two manufacturers, but they aren't small TVs. No, they're 55-inch TVs, which is pretty big for a TV nowadays. But what I don't get is this curved technology. It seems to me like you would have to be sitting straight in front of it, head on, to be able to enjoy the bask of the TV. But if you maybe have a large viewing party, or maybe your friends over for the Super Bowl, or what have you, it's going to be interesting when you have friends sitting in kind of like the corners of the rooms trying to watch the TV, and they're not seeing anything on one side of the TV. It seems very weird to me for that to be something of a television style. It's definitely unique, something different. Will it catch on? I don't know, but right now I don't think a curved TV is what the market wants, but they're out there anyways. It is the Samsung KN55S9 and the LG WGRB OLED is what they're affectionately calling them. So if you want a $15,000 TV that is curved, they're available at Best Buy and Magnolia if you really want one. Good news for internet speeds. This article from the Next Web reads, Akamai, average internet speed up 17% year over year to finally pass 3 megabits per second, while mobile data traffic doubled. Akamai, which is a huge content delivery network, has published some numbers that it has seen over its network. One of the major ones is that the global internet traffic average is above 3 megabits per second, which if you think that's still a pretty low speed, but higher than, what it was a couple of years ago. So they're showing right now that the fastest average internet speed is in South Korea at 14.2 megabits per second, and that is in Q1 of 2013. Following after that is Japan, but the United States is all the way down at number 9 with an average speed of 8.6 megabits per second. And if you average out all of those numbers, the average is 3.1 megabits per second, which is faster, and the world is getting faster as it is becoming more technologically advanced. So, yay, internet traffic around the world. Finally, though, we still need to beef up our backbone networks and even our home line network as well to be able to take in even more of that data traffic every single day. If the internet speed and everybody using it is going to keep rising like this, we definitely need higher speeds all around the world. So this has blown up on Vine recently. It is a woman in the Apple Store complaining and making a huge bustle and noise, yelling to the whole Apple Store that she said that AppleCare told her that she could come in and get her part, and she is yelling at the top of her lungs. I don't know if you can look in the video, but everybody's looking at her. She's making a huge hustle and bustle. It is definitely probably going to be one of the more popular Vines out there. It's very interesting that she is just yelling at the top of her lungs. Let me try to turn up the volume and you can hear.
I could walk in the store and get the part. I was told by AppleCare that I could walk in the store and get the part.
So she's just complaining away, and it's kind of harmonizing to watch. I mean, it's definitely a really good loop of a video, and I just was watching it for 10 minutes straight because it's just so hypnotic, kind of, and a lot of people on the internet agree. So go check that out in the comment section below. In-app purchases, they've been around for a very long time now, but yet parents are still complaining to Apple for letting games do that. But this article from GigaOM says, parents, it's 2013. Stop blaming Apple for your kid's $1,000 app bill. Shockingly, this kid in Canada was playing a free-to-play game that has in-app purchases, somehow racked up a $3,000 app bill, and their parents, who do they blame? Well, not the kids. They've got nice kids. No, they're blaming Apple for allowing them to do that, when Apple has some protections in place, allowing for passwords to be protected for in-app purchases, clear warning boxes about them as well, and yet they're still blaming Apple. Come on, it is not Apple's fault for in-app purchases. The only fault is yours for not teaching your kids, being more moderated of them to show them, what is good. Don't do this, don't do that. This stems back to yesterday's conversation too, what I was talking about. You have to rely on educating your kids or whoever's in your household on the right and wrong things to do, not, the companies. It's not the company's fault, it's your ultimate fault. And what they're doing right here is they're just trying to place blame on somebody else because they don't want to admit that they made an oopsie. So there you guys go. That is my opinion on that. And what do you guys think about in-app purchases? Is it Apple's fault or is it the parents' fault? Do you use Viber? Well, if you do, listen up. From TheVerge.com, Syrian Electronic Army claims Viber database hack, accuses company of spying and tracking. The Syrian Electronic Army, which is in no way related to Syria or an army for that matter, has said they have hacked the Viber servers, taking their database backs up mostly on the back end than the front end, stealing users' data, their tracking numbers, whatever have you, their personal information. They said that they've got that off of database backups that they've taken from the Viber servers. So if you do have the app installed, you might want to delete it and make sure that your data is safe. Now, the Syrian Electronic Army has said that they've done this as a proof of, well, not really proof of concept, but to expose that Viber is tracking their users in, well, not very legal fashion. So there you go. Something a little bit scary to end the day. But you know what's not scary? Our question of the day, which is, what is your internet speed? I, right here, have Comcast. It is a 25 down and 5 up connection speed, which is great for normal everyday usage. I wish, though, that I could get that. I think it's like 105 and 25 up speed. I mean, that would be the best thing ever. But I'm stuck with the 25.5, and I'm not complaining at all, because what I had before was DSL on 1 up and 1 down. It was horrible. But I am thankful, though, that I do have this speed from Comcast, which has proved to be a very good thing, especially when I'm trying to do live streams for you guys every Friday, when I'm trying to upload the day's videos, and it's about 1 gigabyte in size and file, and I'm able to quickly upload it to be going out there to all of our wonderful viewers. And I'd like to say thank you guys for being wonderful viewers. Leave your answers in the comment section down below, and let us know what your internet speed is. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on our social media profiles, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all under the username of Logic Lounge. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, all you guys do to share, interact, and be a part of this wonderful community. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys tomorrow.